He looked like a cute pink troll. I was over the moon, finally having someone to share my secrets with. At night, I'd tell him stories I had heard that day from school. And then the brave knight charged into the dragon's den, sword in hand, ready to rescue the villagers. As the years passed, Max and I grew closer, and for his 5th birthday, I planned something truly magical. No books, no boring stuff tonight. I'm gonna make this milk take flight. Watch it swirl and disappear. Magic milk is what you'll see here. I grabbed my sparkly magic wand, waved it in the air over my glass of milk. Abracadabra! I turned the glass over, and splish splash, the milk flew all over. Just then, Mom walked in with her eyes wide open.
Kara, what on earth have you done?
Think fast, Kara. Magic is a no-no. I need a super-duper excuse, and I need it now. Today we learned about gravity in class, so I was doing a special experiment. It's science, you see? Mom looked at the milky mess.
Oh, God. Let me help you clean this up, but next time, ask an adult for help.
Okay, Mommy. I tried to look extra sweet. Phew. Saved by science. But tomorrow, I'm gonna make that milk disappear for real. And maybe, just maybe, I'll turn it into chocolate milk. Hey there, folks. I'm Kara, and I have a confession to make. You see, I read my mom's very secret diary, and it changed my life forever. But before you start judging me, hit that like and subscribe to Confession Diary. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. I was born to the most boring science teacher and an engineer dad, so while other kids got fairy tales at bedtime, I got quantum mechanics and bridge design. Cozy, huh? So when I started school at age 5, I was different from the other kids. While they played princesses and pirates, I was the one asking, why does the sky change color when the sun sets? And during story time, while others giggled over fairy tales, I talk about the logic behind rainbows. Did you know that rainbows are full circles? My classmates thought I was weird for liking magnets more than video games, but over time I found myself daydreaming about dragons while trying to focus on math, and soon I became caught between what was real and what was not. At home, when I spoke to my parents about it, they didn't seem very interested in what I had to say. Did you know that when a baby is born, a fairy gets its wings?
Focus on learning things that will help you in life.
But it wasn't long before I was obsessed with everything magical, including magic tricks. But my parents thought,
magic is a waste of time.
So I had to keep it a secret. Then one day we got a new neighbor, but they didn't come with a moving van. Can you imagine rolled in with a giant glittering caravan pulled by 2 elephants? Literally. Mr. Thompson was nothing like the other neighbors. His shirt shimmered with every move, his sequin-covered pants sparkled, and he wore a tall, pointed hat with a feather. He looked super weird, yeah, but I liked how different he was. One night, just as I was about to drift off to sleep, something caught my attention. Flickering lights dancing across my ceiling. My heart pounding, I crept out of bed and tiptoed to the window. Through the gaps in the curtains, I peered outside, and what I saw nearly stopped my heart. Mr. Thompson was out there juggling flaming torches. Just when I thought it couldn't get any crazier, he made a dozen doves appear out of nowhere. They fluttered around him, only to vanish just as mysteriously. I was glued to the window, my mouth hanging open in shock, unable to believe what I had just seen. I was hooked, totally mesmerized, and I knew I had to find out more. Every night after I was tucked into bed, I'd peek out my window, glued to Mr. Thompson's magic shows. One daring night, I decided to sneak out and meet with him while he was in the middle of a magic trick. Mr. Thompson, how did you make the doves appear? Mr. Thompson spun around, his eyes wide with surprise when he saw me.
Oh, caught me in the act, huh, little one? Those doves? It's all about a little bit of sleight of hand and a whole lot of imagination.
With a mischievous grin, he pulled a gold coin from behind my ear, making it glimmer in the moonlight.
It's about making the impossible seem possible.
Just then, my parents stormed out fuming.
We know you're a retired circus performer, but you don't have to be the clown of the neighborhood. Stay away from our daughter.
My parents dragged me into the house. I couldn't help but ask, why did you talk to Mr. Thompson like that? He's a nice man.
It's not about being nice. It's about setting boundaries. He's part of a world we don't want you to get involved with.
But I wanted to be a part of his world. Magic made me feel alive, and as if by some twist of fate, something truly enchanting happened. When I was 8, Mom brought home my baby brother, Max. He looked like a cute pink troll. I was over the moon, finally having someone to share my secrets with. At night, I'd tell him stories I had heard that day from school. And then the brave knight charged into the dragon's den, sword in hand, ready to rescue the villagers. As the years passed, Max and I grew closer, and for his 5th birthday, I planned something truly magical. While my parents were asleep, I turned our backyard into an enchanted forest using Dad's camping gear, Halloween decorations, and stuffed animals borrowed from my friends. I snuck Mac outside in his pajamas, his eyes lighting up as he explored it. We enjoyed the most enchanting show under the stars, and by morning, only a trail of glittering leaves remained. Dad looked super confused.
Glittering leaves? How did this happen?
I gave him my best science serious face. Glittering leaves can result from the refraction of light through dewdrops on leaves. After that night, Max was obsessed with Mr. Thompson's shows, so I took him whenever I could. One night, I told Mr. Thompson how much I loved magic, but was kept from learning it by my parents. I asked if he could teach us secretly, and he instantly agreed. And soon, Max and I were sneaking into his workshop to learn tricks almost every night. Eventually, Mr. Thompson put a secret drawer in his tool shed right next to our hedge. We used it to hide all our practice props from our boring parents. When I was 16, Max got his big moment at show and tell. But guess what Dad gave him? His boring rock collection. Just dull gray stones and a long speech on how they were formed. Boring, right? Dad, his classmates will make fun of his boring speech. Yeah, Dad. Can I bring something more fun, like a can of beans or, I don't know, a roll of toilet paper?
Don't be ridiculous, Max. This rock collection will impress your friends and your teacher.
More like bore them to sleep. I couldn't let Max face the embarrassment of Dad's boring rock collection. So on the day of his show and tell, I stuffed Max's magician outfit, a few playing cards, some double-sided tape, and string into my book bag, and during lunch, I snuck out to drop it off for Max. Kara, what if I mess it up? But what if you don't? Believe in yourself, Max, and let the magic work for you. I decided to stay and support him. I knew how much it would mean to him. My little brother nailed it. Chest puffed with pride, he stood in front of the class, a card floating between his hands. The kids were amazed, clapping and cheering, begging for an encore. He was a total rock star. Us, 86,758. Parents, still 0. But my victory lap was short-lived. When I got home that afternoon...
Kara, where were you this afternoon?
At school? I tried to sound casual.
Oh, really? Then who is this? Your doppelganger?
Holy ravioli! There I was, caught red-handed, cheering like a maniac at the back of Max's class. How was I supposed to know they were recording the whole thing?
And look at Max, dressed like Dracula.
He's a magician, Dad, and he had a great time. I had to stand my ground, for me and for Max.
Kara, you know we don't do magic in this house.
But why? It's not hurting anyone.
Magic only leads to disappointment.
But Mom!
Kara, no magic, ever!
As she stormed off, I was more determined than ever to keep magic alive. Not just for me, but for Max too. The next day, I headed straight to the pet store, ready to set my plan in motion. Just as I was about to open the door, it flew open and a girl, clutching a goldfish bowl, crashed into me. Sorry, I'm in a rush. My goldfish is having an emergency. Yeah, it's okay. What's going on? I was trying to get my goldfish some special food before we head to fish yoga class. Fish yoga? A long story, but I better dash before my fish's zen is completely wrecked. I looked at her in amusement as she dashed down the street. I turned and walked into the pet store and spotted the cutest hamster ever. I named him Mr. Whiskers. I wanted him to be a surprise for Max, so I was all set to drop him off with Mr. Thompson. I knocked on the door and it swung open, but no one was there. Help! I looked down and, wait, was that her? Yes! It was the same girl that bumped into me outside the pet store. Here she was, twisted up like a human pretzel. What are you doing here? Before you ask any questions, can you please help me out of this? I quickly untangled her. Thanks a bunch. I guess you're here to see my grandpa? He's at the supermarket right now. Yep, I'm Kara, his neighbor. I'm Mystic. As in the blue lady from X-Men? Yep. And who's this little guy? This is Mr. Whiskers. Hello, little guy. Before you start doing any complex yoga poses, remember to stretch first. While we waited for Mr. Thompson, Mystic told me that she and her mom had just moved here because her mom got an awesome job in town. Just then, Mr. Thompson walked in looking a bit surprised.
Kara, you're here.
Yes, I want to train Mr. Whiskers to do some tricks and keep him. It's a surprise for Max. Of course he can. He's my fish yoga instructor. He's practically an animal whisperer.
I'd love to help. Meet me back here tomorrow after school.
Mystic had enrolled in my school, and the next day we strutted down the hall together. As we passed a group of students, the school bully focused on Mystic.
Well, well, well. Looks like the circus left a glow stick behind.
Before I could say anything, Mystic's eyes sparkled with mischief. You know, very strange things happen in the circus. This one time a dragon came out from nowhere. Suddenly, a huge dragon appeared. While the bully was staring at the dragon, Mystic gave him a wedgie and knocked him to the ground. The circus is in town, and we're not not leaving anytime soon. Mystic and I burst out laughing as the bully scrambled to his feet, his face flushed with embarrassment. He ran down the hallway like his pants were on fire. How did you do that? A magician never reveals her tricks. After school, I went over to Mr. Thompson's house.
We've got a hamster to turn into a superstar.
Over the next few weeks, Mystic, Mr. Thompson, and I worked our magic on Mr. Whiskers, training him to be a star. Mystic and I became besties, and not only did she teach me incredible new tricks, but she was also super smart. We often had fun competitions between us, pushing each other, and before long, we became the top 2 students in our class. About 3 months later, Mr. Whiskers' training was done. I gave him to Max. Every little boy needs to learn responsibility. Mom and Dad were thrilled, seeing it as a chance for Max to learn responsibility. Little did they know Mr. Whiskers was so much more than that. After our parents fell asleep, we'd sneak out to the abandoned house down the street and put on shows for the neighborhood kids. Let's give it up for Mr. Whiskers, the magic hamster. It was like our own secret club, and let me tell you, it was epic. Mr. Whiskers became the neighborhood's rock star. Life was amazing. Until one night, a kid's dog knocked over a lantern, setting the house on fire. Kids screamed and ran while the adults, including our parents, rushed to the scene. As the flames roared, I knew Max and I were in big trouble.
Kara! You did not only endanger your brother, but all the other kids too! How could you be so reckless?
If you'd let us enjoy magic, we wouldn't have to sneak around.
You're grounded for a month, and we're getting rid of Mr. Whiskers.
That night, I slept in Max's room while he cried himself to sleep. I called Mystic the next day. I can't believe my parents got rid of Mr. Whiskers. Why do your parents hate magic so much? I don't care. Max hasn't spoken since yesterday. They'll pay for this. And they did. 2 weeks later, Mom hosted a party for her new boss. They wanted everything perfect. Mom warned me.
This party is super important. Don't ruin this for me.
Max had gone totally mute and even lost some weight. If Mom thought I was just gonna let this slide, she was seriously delulu. During the party, I strolled into the room decked out in a witch's costume with warts and a crooked nose. Good evening, my pretties. Mom and Dad froze in shock. I'm here to perform a special trick. I'll make you all disappear, just like my parents made my little brother's voice disappear. Before Mom or Dad could react, I began to throw smoke pellets onto the ground, making the crowd wheeze and gasp as they began to run out of the house. Run, my pretties, run! When the last person ran out of the house, the smoke was gone and Mom and Dad went berserk.
I am so sick and tired of this. I am sending you to boarding school. Honey, don't you think that's a bit too much?
Wait, my father was sticking up for me? You can't send her away! You can't! We turned to see Max, tears streaming down his face before he bolted into the kitchen. By the time we got there, he had disappeared. Luckily for us, Mr. Thompson was outside and caught up with Max before he ran out of the yard.
Mr. Thompson, thank you. No problem.
I've never heard my parents fight before, but that night, my parents had a mega fight.
This has gone too far. We have to consider the kids. We are the parents, and what we say goes.
The next few days were eerily quiet. Max stayed in his room, and my parents barely talked. I couldn't shake the guilt. It was all my fault. That weekend, I snuck out of the house and visited Mystic. I made a huge mess. How do I fix it? Maybe you have to give up magic.
I disagree.
It was Mystic's mom.
You can prove you've changed by joining me as an intern at the Science Center.
At that point, I was desperate. The next day, Mystic's mom managed to get my parents to let me join the internship. I was pretty bummed. Science? Seriously? But at least Mystic would be there too. But when we got to the Science Center and I saw what Mystic's mom did, my disappointment flipped to amazement. The place was packed with mind-blowing exhibits, and her job was to make them come alive with awesome holograms. She was a magic experience designer.
You see, logic and magic can work together. Neither is better than the other.
But how do I show this to my parents?
Show them how magic and science can work together in useful ways.
As Mystic's mom addressed the interns, she told us about the big competition coming up between science centers across the country with a grand prize of $100,000. For the first time in ages, I felt super excited. I wanted to prove to myself that magic and reality could work together and that I didn't have to choose one over the other. I dove into the internship. We chose an underwater theme, and I thought I'd check Dad's notes, which he had stored in the attic for a project he did last year with his students for some ideas. Where did Dad put those papers? Just as I found Dad's papers, a book tumbled to the floor. I picked it up and flipped it open. Mom's handwriting? A diary! A grin spread across my face. Could this have all the tea on Mom's life as a teen? was about to dive in when my phone buzzed, snapping me out of my curiosity. It was Mystic. Ugh, timing. I glanced at the diary, my fingers itching to read just one entry. But nope, not today. I quickly messaged Mystic back. I tucked the diary and Dad's papers into my bag. The juicy secrets could wait. I had a competition to focus on. Over the next few weeks, I barely had time to think about anything else. But then, cue dramatic music. The night before the competition, it hit me. Mom's diary. I'd completely forgotten about it. I was so ready for Mom's teenage drama, but what I read next made my head spin. Everyone laughs at us, and I hate it. Mom needs to find a real job, not this fortune teller nonsense. Yesterday, the kids at school said we're circus freaks. I'm so embarrassed. I just want a normal life. Each entry was almost the same. Grandma was a fortune teller and also performed in circuses. And as a teen, Mom got teased about it her entire life. So she struggled to get rid of it all and studied very hard to be a successful person. A rush of guilt hit me hard. I wanted Mom and Dad to get me, but I'd never really tried to get them. I acted like a jerk. The next morning, I woke up determined to fix things. I ran to my parents' room, ready to apologize for everything, but when I opened the door, they weren't there. I checked Max's room next, but he was gone too. I pinned the flyer for the competition on the fridge for them to see, hoping, praying they'd show up today. I blinked back the tears that threatened to spill. Why couldn't they just be there for me just this one time? Pull yourself together, Kara. Today is competition day. Win first, cry later. I quickly pulled myself together and got dressed. I drove to the competition with Mr. Thompson, Mystic, and her mom. When we got there, the other interns were waiting for us. Okay, team, let's win this. As we added the final touches to our display, I couldn't lie. I was definitely intimidated. Some of the displays looked like something out of a science magazine. It made me realize just how big this was and how much I really wanted us to win, needed us to win. And finally, it was showtime. As the lights dimmed, the room fell silent and the judges leaned in. Mystic's mom hit the switch and the space around us transformed. Glowing jellyfish drifted through the air while a massive squid swirled above the judges' heads. As each creature swam by, we hit them with fun facts, explaining how this kind of interactive exhibit would totally capture audience's attention and take learning to a whole new level, mixing science with a bit of tech magic. As the presentation ended and the lights turned on, I heard a familiar voice. Kara! It was Max! And my parents! You did great! Thanks, buddy!
What you guys did today, it's nothing short of amazing. We're so proud of you.
And it was a lot more exciting than Dad's rock collection.
We're sorry for everything. I should have listened.
I read your diary about Grandma. You should have explained it to me. Tears welled up in my eyes as I hugged them both. I'm sorry for all the mess I caused.
We promise to communicate better going forward.
Thanks, Dad. Just then, the judge's announcement echoed through the room.
And the winner is the Madison Science Center's holographic underwater world.
After the competition, Mystic, Max, and I started a TikTok account. Our parents even joined in. We taught them magic tricks, which was hilarious. Mystic's mom helped us enter more competition, and we nailed them all. By college, we were getting invites to international events, and we got pretty famous. We also began our own company, offering magical experiences to schools and businesses. How cool is that? When you're passionate about something, work hard and always believe in yourself. Trust me, success will sparkle in ways you never saw coming.